Welcome to Silence the Chatter. We're back. And I like it when my subscribers communicate to me different topics that they want to hear. The challenge comes in how to not personalize opinion and really give what it is that is truthful and logical. And I can honestly say, in some parts of it, it applies to how I truly feel. And the topic that they gave me was on parenting. So I know that parenting is a lifelong journey filled with ups and downs. Children can become your gauge of accountability. They can also become your judge as they watch your behaviors and everything that you do. And they can also be the absolute light of life on any given day. I know I have 3 daughters, and they are absolutely my joy. Now, I can honestly say that there's been some challenges as far as going through the teenage years, as most parents encounter. And I can honestly say that I was almost trumped by them because I didn't think I would make it through without having to truly put a hurting on one of them. But I think as parents, our roles as mothers and fathers, they've changed a lot. In our society right now, there's a lot of single parent households, blended families, and the face of parenting truly has taken on a new look because most of the parents are getting younger. That generational connectivity that many of us grew up under, where families were more integrated and they were stronger, some of that has been lost through the age of new technology because the communication and the different linkages that we used to have, that the village actually became part of that entire family and helped parent children, that's been moved. I think that if I had to choose a topic to talk about on parenting, I would call this the boomerang effect of parenting. Why, you may want to ask? It's because that's what happens. Some people think that parenting ends when you reach a certain age, and that age is 18. Where did that come from? My mama used to tell me, and my daddy, I can't wait until you're 18 because you are out of here. I can't wait until you get 18. And so, of course, I adopted the same thing. And my thinking as a teenager, my goal was to get to be 18 so I could move up out of here. I was ready to go, thinking that I could fly anywhere in the world and just start a new life. But just because you are 18 and able doesn't mean that you're ready. Why is the age of 18 classified as a number where you gotta go? I don't know. I guess it sort of goes along with the story that I heard about the preparation of a holiday dinner where the ends of the ham was always cut off in order to go into the pot to be prepared and served. And as the story would go, the question came from the next generation per se, well, why are we cutting the ends of the ham off before we cook it? And when it came full circle, it was like, well, you have to ask your grandmother because she always cut the ham this way. And it's just been passed from generation to generation. So when the daughter asked the grandmother why she cut the ham ends off, the grandmother said, well, my pot couldn't hold the ham because it was too big, so I cut the ends to fit the pot. So saying all that to say this, It wasn't necessary for that ham to be cut in the current family because they had big enough pots, but they continued to do it because it was a tradition. All I'm saying and recommending in forethought is maybe 18 is not the age where everybody has to leave, because if they're not ready, they should stay at home. I know for a fact that maturity plays a big part in anyone's ability to leave home, and sustainability. If you can't take care of yourself, where are you going? If you're not mature enough to know how to go in the kitchen and prepare a meal, or mature enough to know how to maintain your finances, or able to, hey, let me say this, if you don't have a car or some form of transportation or some place to live, where are you going? It brings a whole different perspective. Maybe 21 should be the new age. But even then, there's a lot of countries that they don't allow their children to leave, like in India and China, until they marry. Nor can they be in a position where they're getting or not receiving the support from their families. But that's a whole different conversation. I also know in parenting that we get to the point with this boomerang effect that we say 18 and you're going to college. Well, my daughters, they agree with that philosophy to a certain extent, but again, college is not for everybody. The goal is to become sustainable, to be able to get a skill, to learn how to take care of yourself. You may opt to take other means by having on-the-job training or doing things that are going to give you valuable skills that can transcend and put you in positions of authority and give you a good income bracket. I would never tell a person not to go to college, but I also have learned that it's not for everybody. We get to a point in parenting where we say, what? They left. It is time to get back to that empty nest, and we're about to do some things, and I'm going to live my life. And next thing you know, the doorbell rings, someone's knocking at the door, and you say, what? They're back? And you let them back in. And this cycle can repeat itself over and over and over again. But then it gets to be a time where enough is enough. You got to have tough love, because you have to ask the question, why do they keep coming back? What is it that they didn't get that requires them to have to come back multiple times? Now, again, all people at some point, even as adults, need help. But if you're allowing your grown children to be at home and they're not contributing, they're not taking ownership, they're not supporting the needs of the household, but yet they're living their lifestyles as grown, it's time to implement some tough love. Because you need to set a date, hold them to that date, and let them be grown outside of your house. Now, the flip of that is, there's some conditions that require children to be at home as adults. And parenting, again, is a lifelong journey. Assess every situation differently. But we're speaking today to those that are capable and able to sustain themselves. We got to practice tough love, y'all. We can't have our children at home with us the rest of their lives. Parenting is a lifelong journey, but it wasn't meant to be lifelong up in your house. If you like what you hear, subscribe, hit the notification button, and we'll be back with more conversation on this parenting tip, because I think it's going to generate some thought, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you. So leave some comments. Until next time, be blessed, and we'll chat soon.